Grief is a knife that points at honest children. Grief is the loss of air when the black tendrils strangle my throat and chest. Grief is blue lilacs and turrets of tears like waterfalls. Grief is the lost souls of the infinite abyss trying to escape, desperate for a light in the dark that never comes. Grief is the cowardly hand of a parent hitting their own flesh and blood, then years later telling them spanking isn't abuse. Grief is the feeling of losing a beloved, cherished pet and suddenly wanting to scream and cry. Grief is a sick friend and the soul about to die. Grief is ageless, genderless, and sexless. Grief is in all things and cries and bites and clings to the shadows like a lost babe never comforted. Grief is timeless and an absolute that will touch all life as death does. Grief is infinite and a God you don't want to know, but will someday know if you don't already. Grief is a cruel, pitiless teacher who takes what they want and leaves you worse for wear. And grief is the longing in the pit of your stomach when smokeless fire gin play with your hair and you turn around to find there was no one ever there. Grief breaks your heart, countries, kings, and children. Grief is a stage of hell and a devil's right-hand kinsman.